Hi, my name is Chandrika Francis. I am the founder of Oshun Swim School, which is a program that supports Black, Indigenous, and POC women and non-binary folks to deepen our relationship with water, gain swim skills, and feel at home and free in the water. I was inspired to start Oshun Swim School because I saw so many of my friends, family, community members who were Black women, non-binary people, other folks of color, not feeling safe or comfortable in the water. And I also had the opportunity to see how much healing can happen when we have that space in the water together. And I knew that there was a lot more there. Most folks of color have some sort of really intergenerational trauma around water, and I'll speak to the Black experience specifically because that's the one I'm connected to. You know, starting with the transatlantic slave trade, there's just been a lot of harm done to us through water, and there's a lot of explicit reasons around keeping Black folks keeping Black folks controlled, that it was in the benefit to the sort of white supremacist system to make sure that Black folks didn't know how to swim. And there's a whole long history around segregation of pools. Pools were one of the sites where segregation had the most, like white folks felt the most fear, I don't know what to call it, but anger, hate around integration. And so really when integration happened, shut down public pools so they wouldn't have to share with Black folks and other folks of color. So there's a lot of generational trauma, and most folks who come into classes know that, feel that, have lived that. Their parents or grandparents have very strong negative associations with water. And I think that a big part of addressing that and supporting them to heal that is really offering space for that to be named and acknowledged and felt into. Sometimes we do meditations on that. Sometimes we talk about that, journal about that. And the reality is the water really is the conductor for the healing, and really the intention of the students is the conductor. And I feel my role is to really create a space for that to happen and ask questions for that to happen. And then it's really about each person in the water having that connection to work with what's coming up. Seeing our relationship with water as a spiritual practice feels really important and central. And Oshun, who the program is named after, is a West African Yoruba deity of water. And so really holding it all as sacred and holding it all as ritual is really important to us reclaiming that relationship. One thing is really incorporating rest, pauses, and choice, and encouraging students, giving space for them to tune into their bodies and notice what is actually happening for them. So what that can look like is, if I have an activity that I'm suggesting, I really build in moments for them to check in with themselves and see, are they actually ready for that? Even if they can do that, should they? Is their body asking them for a rest? Are they actually kind of scared and just need a moment to recenter? And I think that sort of tuning in with your body is a really decolonizing. So I want to take a moment to speak to anyone watching this video who is wanting to get more comfortable with water and work on that relationship. Definitely encourage you. You're already in relationship to water. You're already made of water. Whether that's taking a swim class or spending more time by the ocean, I definitely encourage you to keep building that. A tip for building your comfort. A lot of swimming is totally focused around breath work, and the pattern with swimming when you're doing a stroke is to breathe in your mouth and out your nose. And when you're breathing out of your nose, that's when you're actually under the water. So one practice thing that you can do to get more comfortable with being underwater and doing strokes is to practice that breath of in, and this can be in the bathtub, it can be in the shower, breathing in your mouth, submerging your face in water, and exhaling out of your nose, blowing bubbles out of your nose. And if you get into that rhythm, you'll be really ready to go into strokes. So wherever you are, if that's something that is just calling your name, definitely reach out. There are many ways to get involved and definitely lots of room for support. So you can find us at oshunswimschool.com.